pour la collecte des messageries, il faut peut-être privilégier une collecte ciblée. C'est exactement ce que le NARA, donc les National Archives donc des États-Unis d'Amérique, ont décidé de mettre en place via leur projet Capstone. Initialement, ils avaient fait une tentative de collecte globale de l'ensemble des messageries du gouvernement américain, mais se sont très vite rendus compte de l'impossibilité de la tâche. Et résultat, ils sont revenus sur la politique d'une collecte ciblée via leurs organismes et leurs correspondants archives au sein des gouvernements, et donc ont ciblé évidemment les secrétaires d'État et les messageries du président des États-Unis. Par ailleurs, pour assurer l'archivage des messageries, aujourd'hui, il est préférable pour garantir l'intégrité de ces messageries de les faire transiter via donc, des systèmes qu'on appelle des ERMS, des Electronic Records Management Systems, qui permettent de tracer donc l'ensemble des actions sur les données et les composantes de ces messages, et donc notamment les métadonnées, les objets, les corps de messages et les pièces jointes associées.
I think when you require individuals to move emails into a separate record system, you have a capture problem. You have a problem that you're not going to capture enough correspondence to have a full record of your work. When you, on the other hand, decide to manage email accounts within an email environment, although you have no capture problem, you have an access problem. You have a problem that you cannot allow all the people that would want to see a record of that work to access the record, i.e. the email account, because there is almost certainly going to be some correspondence of a personal nature relating to that individual. One perceived advantage of requiring people to move email out of email environments into a separate record system is that the record system then becomes an environment which can accept other material that hasn't come through email, with the ideal being that all of a person's correspondence could be captured in one place, or rather all of the correspondence relating to a particular piece of work could be brought together in one place regardless of its format. However, that comes at a price, because it means that email is being moved from an environment that is built for email, i.e. a typical email client is built to optimize the metadata that's available with email and to optimize an individual's ability to browse and sort through their own collection of email. Whereas when an individual moves that email to a record system, the record system is being built to store and display many different types of information object, which have many different types of metadata, and therefore what you often find is that email is less findable and less understandable in the record system than it would have been in its original context. Capstone is the name of a policy initiative launched by the National Archives and Records Administration of the United States of America. They launched it in 2013 and implemented it from 2014, so it's relatively recent, and basically the motivation for the new policy was that they were not convinced that federal agencies were capturing the correspondence of federal officials with sufficient consistency and reliability. So they changed their policy. Instead of asking federal agencies to move email from email accounts to record systems, they instead asked federal officials to decide whether or not the individual account of any particular federal official was a Capstone account or not, and if it was a Capstone account, then the federal official should preserve the email account according to their retention schedule, and Capstone accounts should be effectively preserved permanently in the National Archives. Now, Capstone doesn't solve all of the problems around email. For example, one of the key questions is, should a federal official be allowed to delete trivial or personal emails from their email account. On the face of it, you would say, of course, they should be able to delete emails that are trivial. Why would you want trivial emails? The problem is, if you give a federal official the ability to delete from the record emails that they think are trivial, you're also giving them the ability to delete emails that might be embarrassing to them but might actually be important for the record. So you've got a balance between wanting the convenience and efficiency of using federal officials to delete emails that might be difficult to manage or might be worthless, but you're paying a price for that, and the price you're paying is that the email account does not work as well for accountability purposes. It does not hold that individual to account as well as if you'd have kept the whole email account of that official. NARA have defined a retention schedule. They've issued a federal a retention schedule where they've outlined what posts within a federal agency they think should be treated as Capstone email accounts. So in other words, they've given a fairly strong guidance to agencies to say this type of official, and obviously it's the more senior roles, it's the more strategic roles, it's the more policy roles, the more public facing roles. These are the roles which they've said we would normally expect those type of roles to have email accounts defined as Capstone accounts and therefore preserved for the nation.